Hello friends, welcome to Read With Me. We are continuing our pumpkin book series with The Legend of Spookley the Square Pumpkin. The author is Troiano and it is illustrated by Susan Banta. Let's begin. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookley wasn't like his friends, where they had curves. See, they're curvy. He had ends. He's a square, a cube, actually. Spookley was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookley the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. Have you ever seen a square pumpkin before? I haven't. I've seen some odd-shaped ones, but not a square one. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookley sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookley wished he was round and could roll everywhere. Is that kind of them to tease him because he's different? No, that is not kind at all. It makes him feel sad. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be a square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, then off they'd go, bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing. What a sight! Oh no, they're coming off their vines in this terrible storm. Spookley sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. Look, see here, Spookley's over here, and he is not budging because he's a square. Oh no, the pumpkins are falling over the hill and into the water. Suddenly the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out into the bay. 1, 2, 3 pumpkins. Spookley knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally flipped. He was on his side. Look, he's able to move around. Again he tipped. Again he flopped. Again he flipped, and then he stopped. Look, he stopped in the fence. He's going to plug up the broken spot in the fence and save the other pumpkins. Right in the gap where the fence had snapped, he blocked the way. The hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray!" Spookley the Square Pumpkin had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Look, the pumpkins are piling onto Spookley. Do you think he'll be able to stay there and not give way and let them go down into the bay? Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. Look at all of these pumpkins. That is a pile of pumpkins. And look who's here on the bottom, poor Spookley. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up, one by one, and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when at last moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Look, Spookley's still there. He saved the day. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too. But there was brave little Spookley, sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there the farmer knew, of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookley's were the most special that he had ever grown. Because they were different. He's a square instead of a round pumpkin. And the next year when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, that morning about mid-June, When the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds. Most of them square. Look, they're just like Spookley. And what else do we see? There's different colors. This bloom is blue. And I see purple ones too. But do you see red ones, pink ones, purple ones, blue ones? Look at all the different color pumpkins. Some were cubes and some were rectangular. Some were flat. I guess this one's a rectangle and a flat one. And others triangular. These are triangular. They're actually pyramids, the three-dimensional shape of a triangle. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Look at the polka dot. Which ones do you like best? The red, the blue, the polka dot, the yellow, the purple, the rainbow ones? I think I like the polka dot. They're unusual. Now every year on Halloween, Spookley's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. Everybody wants to come see the pumpkin patch to see what different pumpkins the farmer has. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. They picked square ones. Here's a round one. Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday, if you tell someone too, they'll go tell someone who will go tell another, and maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. Now every good story has a problem and a solution. And Spookley, his problem was everyone made fun of him because he was different. He was a square pumpkin, and they all had curves. They were round. The solution was his being different allowed him to save the other pumpkins in the storm, and then the farmer planted his seeds because he was unique, and people came from all around to see the unique pumpkins that his seeds grew. The story also tells us to never judge anyone on the way they look. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking, and clicking the bell. Until next time.